Want to live a long life? Start by washing and massaging these spots. The 5-minute miracle. At this very moment, how well do you think you're taking care of your body? Is a daily shower and occasional massage really enough? Surprisingly, the small habits we often overlook can determine our lifespan by 10 years or more. Let's hear the story of David, 59. He was an ordinary office worker until he was rushed to the emergency room with a sudden heart attack. The doctor's words were shocking. It's highly likely that bacteria from poor oral hygiene traveled through your blood vessels and caused inflammation in your heart. Listen to today's story to the very end. Your remaining life could change completely. If you want to continue receiving more health secrets, press the subscribe button right now. Your single click is a huge support for our video production. Please share this with your loved ones too. First discovery. The amazing power of hand washing. After recovering, the first habit David changed was his hand washing routine. Previously, he thought a quick rinse with water or a simple rub with hand sanitizer was enough. The correct hand washing method David learned was this: first, lather up soap in warm water and thoroughly scrub his palms, the backs of his hands, between his fingers and under his nails for at least 20 seconds. He learned it was crucial not to miss his thumbs and wrists and to dry his hands completely with a clean towel afterward. Before this, David suffered from colds and enteritis 3 to 4 times a year due to improper hand washing. But after he started washing his hands correctly, he didn't get a single infectious disease for an entire year. According to the WHO, proper hand washing alone can prevent 30% of diarrheal diseases and 20% of respiratory infections. The added benefit of hand massage. Every evening, David gently massaged each of his fingers. He rubbed in circles from his fingertips to his wrists and pressed the pressure points on his palms. This simple habit made his carpal tunnel syndrome symptoms disappear, improved his blood circulation, and made his hands feel warmer. Second awakening. The vitality of oral care. After his heart attack, the most shocking thing for David was the connection between oral health and heart disease. He learned for the first time that gum disease, bacteria could travel through blood vessels and cause inflammation in the heart. For effective oral cleansing, it was important to brush his teeth for 2 to 3 minutes, with the toothbrush at a 45-degree angle to the gum line, as if massaging. Afterward, he used an interdental brush and floss to thoroughly clean between his teeth, a tongue cleaner to remove the bacterial film from his tongue, and a mouthwash to finish. The amazing effect of oral massage. David began gently massaging his gums daily with a clean finger. He massaged his gums in circles with his index finger for 5 minutes, and the gum bleeding stopped within 2 weeks. 3 months later, his dentist told him his gum condition was like that of a 20-year-old. When he neglected oral care, David suffered from chronic bad breath and bleeding gums. More seriously, the bacteria in his mouth spread throughout his body via the bloodstream, raising his inflammation levels. Research shows that people with gum disease have a 2x higher risk of heart disease and a 3x higher risk of stroke. Third realization. Foot health is body health. One day, David suffered from athlete's foot between his toes. Diagnosed with pre-diabetes, his doctor warned him that foot care can be directly linked to your life. For perfect foot cleansing, he first soaked his feet in lukewarm water for 5 to 10 minutes, then thoroughly washed between his toes with soap. The key was to gently remove dead skin from his heels and soles, completely dry between his toes, and then massage his entire feet with a moisturizer. The magical effect of foot massage. Every evening after a foot soak, David started massaging his feet. He pressed the Yangqian pressure point at the center of his sole with his thumb and rotated each toe, stimulating his feet from heel to toe with a pressure stick. His chronic insomnia miraculously disappeared. In the past, when he neglected foot care, he suffered not only from foot odor and athlete's foot, but also from varicose veins and leg swelling. However, consistent foot massage improved his blood circulation, and these problems all resolved. Fourth change. The neck and shoulders, a storehouse of stress. David's neck and shoulders were as stiff as a rock from work stress. Headaches and dizziness became daily occurrences, and his blood pressure was gradually rising. The key to cleansing the neck and shoulders was to wash them with warm water to relax the muscles, and gently rub along the back of the neck and the shoulder line. He also thoroughly cleansed behind his ears and the sides of his neck, and used a moisturizer to protect his skin after his shower. The miracle of neck and shoulder massage. David started giving himself a 10-minute neck and shoulder massage every day. He pressed the Feng Qi pressure point at the back of his neck with his thumbs, kneaded along his shoulder line, and gently loosened his trapezius muscles. A remarkable change occurred in just 3 weeks. His chronic headaches disappeared, and he could sleep soundly. Even more surprisingly, his blood pressure dropped from a 1490 to 2080. This was the result of the tension in his neck and shoulders easing, stabilizing his autonomic nervous system, and reducing the secretion of stress hormones. Fifth discovery: the back and lower back, the center of vitality. David was diagnosed with early-stage herniated discs from prolonged sitting. The stiffness in his back and lower back also affected his organ function, causing indigestion and constipation. To effectively cleanse his back and lower back, he used a back brush or a long towel to clean his entire back and fully relax the muscles around his lower back with warm water. The key was to gently rub along the spine and meticulously care for the areas between his shoulder blades. The innovation of back and lower back massage. David learned a self-back massage using a tennis ball. He placed the tennis ball against a wall with his back and moved slowly to stimulate the pressure points. He also incorporated stretches, like pulling his knees to his chest while lying down to stretch his lower back muscles. After 6 months, his disc symptoms improved significantly. His digestive function also got better. His constipation disappeared and his overall vitality returned. As his spinal health improved, his nervous system function normalized, and his internal organs began to function properly again. Sixth awakening: the abdomen, the second brain. David suffered from chronic indigestion and irritable bowel syndrome. He would get stomach aches and diarrhea whenever he was stressed, which led to a weakened immune system. The important thing about abdominal cleansing was to gently wash the area around his belly button with lukewarm water, avoiding water that was too cold or too hot so as not to disrupt his intestinal movements. It was also necessary to clean inside his belly, button with a cotton swab, and meticulously care for his lower abdomen. The digestive miracle of abdominal massage. David started massaging his abdomen 2 hours after every meal. He massaged in large clockwise circles around his belly button for 10 minutes and repeated a motion of stroking from his sternum down to his belly button. Amazingly, his indigestion disappeared in just 2 weeks, and after 1 month, his irritable bowel syndrome symptoms improved by 80%. As his gut microbiome balanced, his immunity also significantly improved. Seventh revolution: the face and neck, the first line of defense. David worked in a city with heavy pollution and suffered from frequent respiratory infections. This was the result of neglecting his face and neck care. To properly cleanse his face and neck, he first rinsed with lukewarm water to open his pores, then massaged with a gentle cleanser in circles. He washed his neck from bottom to top, making sure to not miss the area behind his ears and the sides of his neck, then finished with cold water to tighten his pores. The rejuvenating effect of face and neck massage. David made face massage a habit after washing. He massaged his temples in circles and stroked along the lymph nodes of his neck, from behind his ears to his collarbones. He found that pressing the pressure points on the side of his neck, in particular, improved his blood circulation. 3 months later, people around him commented that he looked years younger. His skin tone brightened, and his chronic rhinitis improved. This was the result of improved lymph circulation, which led to more active waste removal.